I recently had such a life altering experience to the point where it changed my whole entire concept of self and my whole understanding of reality. And basically, one thing I took from this experience was that I will no longer label myself anymore. Growing up, I always labeled myself the analytical one, the logical one, while my twin sister was the creative one. And when you're a twin or very close to a sibling, it's like you guys are even more fixated on labels because people around you and your family use your given skill sets to differentiate who you are from each other. So people looked at me and my sister and would enforce these labels. I was the analytical one. I loved psychology. My sister was the more creative one. She was very artistic. And people reinforced those identities in us, and we reinforced those identities in ourselves. And reinforcing this type of fixed identity where I said, I'm logical, I'm this way, I'm one way, I could never be artistic, held me back in life so much because what I base my identity on is what I believe I am meant to do or meant to be good at, because you kind of fixate on natural talents, and I don't really believe that you should only hone in on your natural talents. I think there are things that you're naturally interested in. Maybe there's things that come easier to your brain's way of learning, but that doesn't mean that that's the only thing you should be doing with your time. And so growing up, because I thought I was only analytical, I only liked psychology, I could never be artistic, I completely left out a whole part of life and a whole type of expression of me. Like I said, because I thought I was always analytical and that's what came easiest to me, I was left brain dominant. I never practiced using my right brain. Right brain is more creative and intuition, flowing, artistic, and your left brain is more logic, analytical. And because I thought I was one way, I never allowed myself to take part in things like music or art. Anything that has to do with singing, creativity, drawing, I just thought, nope, I'm one way. I've never been good at that. So I'm not going to do it. And I realized that that held me back in life. Because recently, when I stopped labeling myself, when I realized I am not my skill set. I am Veda, the one that's experiencing the skill set. I am Veda, the one that's doing the craft. I don't have to mold my identity to the craft. I realized that I can be anything I want to be. I can do anything I want to do. And I don't have to let my mind's notion of a fixed identity stop me from exploring all different types of paths. So when I finally stopped labeling myself, it's like I felt like I could do anything. And I took up music, I took up piano, I started singing, I started drawing, and it unlocked a part of me that I thought never existed. And I thought it never existed because I only labeled myself to be analytical and logical. And when you label yourself, when you say, I am only this way, it stops you from trying anything else because you're comfortable in your little perceived identity. You're comfortable in your box. You're comfortable in the category you have picked for yourself and the category people around you have reinforced, the identity you and others have reinforced you as. But once you realize you're not one thing, that labels don't exist, that just because you're left brain dominant doesn't mean you can't practice other things that get you right brain dominant. You unlock your brain's potential. Your brain is a master at problem solving, pattern recognition. It's designed for novelty, seeing patterns, solving, and coherence. Your body can get into flow state. Your body even knows more than your mind can keep up. That's flow state. When you can drop into flow state in anything, your default mode network quiets. You stop fixating on if you're doing something right and you just start playing. You become like a child again. And children are explorative, they are curious, they go with the flow, they have no concept if they're doing something right. And that's what I became again, a child. I realized I don't have to just be good at psychology or writing or speaking. I can be good at art. I can be good at music. I can be good at anything I put my mind to. Because when I stop labeling myself, I stop capping my brain and body's capacity. When you realize that you're the experiencer of everything, and you stop letting your identity, your quote unquote perceived identity, hold you back, you start to see the power of your body and your brain. Your body, when allowing you to drop into flow state, because flow state is something you access when your nervous system is regulated. And when your nervous system is regulated, you feel safe enough to let go of control and let your body guide you. And your body and your brain work together to solve problems, to see patterns, and to reach mastery. And I realized when I stopped fixating on an identity, when I stopped saying I'm only good at one thing, I let myself be curious and explore. And I try to let go of my concept of doing anything right. I try to let go of my concept of looking good or what do people think about me. You give your brain and your body the space to drop into flow state. And if you can drop into flow state, you can gain mastery at anything. All it takes is consistency. The reason why it's hard to drop into flow state is because you are constantly letting your mind ruminate on if you look good, if you are doing it right, or if you're embarrassing yourself. When your mind is too busy ruminating, your body can't get into flow state. Your nervous system doesn't feel safe, and you can't let go and let your body take lead. But once you quiet your default mode network, once you learn how to be present and you let your mind follow your body, you let your body lead, you realize that your ability for pattern recognition is so high. You just have never let yourself see it. The mind and the body are designed for problem solving, pattern recognition, coherence. You let yourself explore enough and you'll start getting good at certain skills. As soon as you drop into flow state and be like a child, you can do anything you set your mind to. And getting into flow state has become so much easier for me when I stopped labeling who I was and what I was supposed to be good at. When I stopped measuring how good I am at something or how fast I'm excelling in something. When you let go of all measurements, when you let go of all identity, when you finally realize you can do anything you set your mind to, but there's no measurements, there's no pace in how good you're supposed to be getting, there's no one you should be comparing yourself to. When you let every sense of comparison go and every fixed identity go, you free your mind and body to finally do what it was built to do. And once you realize this, once you realize you're not one thing, you can do anything, you're the experiencer of everything, you start to see your mind and your body's full potential. Your brain is extremely powerful. Your body knows more than you realize. And once you let them do their job and get out of your own way by constantly ruminating and fixating on what you think you're good at or how you're supposed to look, you see that the human species, just like the human mind and human body, are built to do and create amazing things. You just have to allow yourself. Nobody really realizes this because they cap themselves to what they're naturally good at. And that's not all you're capable of. You can do anything you set your mind to. But as long as you're labeling yourself and seeing yourself to be one way, You cap your potential because whatever you believe you're capable of doing is what your mind and body are going to show you. If you think that you're not capable of doing something, you lose flow state. You aren't using your pattern recognition ability on the craft. You're using your pattern recognition ability on how you're being socially perceived. That's what's happening. That's what blocks your flow state. When you are too busy thinking about how you're perceived, your mind and body don't have the energy or the safety to put into your craft. So if you can let that go, if you can let the notion of caring about what people think about you go, if you can let the notion of trying to look a certain way and drop into your body, try to quiet your default mode network. If you can't quiet it, don't pay attention to it. Feel the present moment. Feel your body, what your body is feeling. Name the things you're looking at. Name the things you're hearing. See what's in front of you. And don't pay any attention to the rumination your default mode network is going on about. If you do that over time, you practice getting into flow state and you realize that you can do anything when you're in that state. You just have to be present. When you're present, you're fully there, you're fully paying attention, and your brain can maximize on its ability to problem solve. Humans are built for mastery. We're built to solve problems. Your brain and body will solve it if you let it. But the more you say, I'm not good at that. I've only been this one way. I've never been good at that craft because I am a scientist. I've never been good at sports. I am an artist. I've never been good at math. There is you capping your mind and body's potential. But once you realize that you are not one fixed thing, that you can be anything, and you stop labeling yourself, you realize there is no limit to what you're able to accomplish in your lifetime. You can be whoever you want because you've never been one thing. And when you realize you're not one thing, you find out you can be anything.